Hey guys, it's Douglas G14B here with my first in a line of Redstone tutorials. This first tutorial is going to be about the very basics of Redstone and Redstone connectivity. It's going to explain what Redstone ore is, Redstone dust, Redstone wire, what Redstone torches are, and the different types of inputs into Redstone, such as buttons, torches, levers, pressure plates, and kind of how they're used. I realize that there's lots of Redstone tutorials out there already, but I don't find that they're all complete. They either cut out halfway through the line of tutorials, or they're just too complicated to really for a newer Redstone user to grasp the concept of, or at least get easily or apply practically. But moving on, this right here is a redstone ore. This, you'll find this kind of deep under the ground, probably about where I am. I don't know, probably level 20 and under. Might be a little bit different. I don't have that fact straight. But neat property of it is that it lights up when you walk on it. If you're mining around underground, it's dark, ran out of torches, this can kind of be a godsend when you walk on top of it. It lights up the hull pretty nicely. But to get this stuff, redstone dust right here, you have to mine this. So get yourself out a diamond pick that is not a super pickaxe, so it doesn't annihilate it immediately. There we go. And it takes a little while to mine, but once you mine it, 4 redstone dust will pop out. You just pick them up like so. Generally, your ore will come in kind of a group. They'll kind of be grouped together like most ores are, like that. You can mine. You can get quite a fair bit of redstone dust after mining for just a short while. But I'm going to show you how to use this redstone wire now. No, this is redstone wire. This is redstone dust. Put redstone dust on the ground to make redstone wire. Alright, redstone wire you can lay out and curve and turn and put it on top of blocks as you wish. Go over blocks, turn off the side of the block, and so on. But it really doesn't do anything until you add power to it. And this torch is essentially a powering device. You can make these redstone torches by taking sticks on the bottom. This is similar to how you would make regular torches. You just put sticks on the bottom, coal on the top. Instead you put redstone on the top and you'll get redstone torches. Now, as you might notice here, that redstone wire, you can tell it's lit up all the way across here, and then it just stops right here, right in front of the block. It has nothing to do with the block. Nothing at all to do with the block. It has nothing to do with the curve either. As you will see, redstone wire just dies out as it comes out here. It's because it can only travel 15 blocks after the power source. So, you'll need something known as a repeater. Or if you want to be technical, it's a diode. But don't have to remember that. Now, you can put this really anywhere on the wire. As long as it's powered, it'll do something. Wherever you put it, it'll power another 15 blocks in front of it. If you want to get your most out of these repeaters, you put it right where the signal ends right here, and voila. You're now powered for another 15 blocks. Now, a neat thing about these repeaters, you'll notice right here is how this stick moves back. It looks kind of like resembles a redstone torch, kind of. A piece of redstone on the top and whatnot. But as it moves back, this adds what's known as delay. Currently, this repeater is set at 1 tick delay, which a Minecraft tick is 1/10 of a second. So 10 of these repeaters, so on, with that 1 tick delay would equal 1 second of delay. Now, this is how the delay works. Watch, I will hit this wire, and did you see how that did not turn off immediately? And put this wire back on, and that actually, it takes a second to turn off and on. That's that 1/10 of a second that you're seeing. Now, you can increase this out from 1 tick to 2 ticks to 3 ticks to 4 ticks, all the way up to 4/10 of a second, and thread the wire, takes a little bit, and takes a little bit. You can also string these out, like so. Add some delay, and you can noticeably see it. You can kind of play around with this and it'll pulse through like that. But one thing that's kind of neat about those repeaters, they're really handy. Very, very handy with redstone circuits, not only with extending your wire, but there's a few other purposes that I'm going to show you here shortly. Now, redstone and blocks. Redstone does not travel. The signal does not travel through a block. It doesn't travel through a block at all. Nothing touching this block is going to be powered. Well, redstone. Let me rephrase that. Redstone is not going to be powered. Now, one thing that you can do, you place a repeater in front of this block. See how that repeater is powered? And there. It'll actually power the redstone on the other side of the block. And your 15 blocks of powered redstone actually starts right here after the block, not at the repeater. So not only is that handy if, let's say, you have some blocks that are stacked up like this, and you don't want to run a redstone wire up the blocks, you can just put it there and go. It's also handy for really whatever else you find it for. Another thing that you can do is, as I demonstrated earlier, you can't put redstone wire through a block, but if redstone wire is active and on that side of the block, you can put a repeater on the other side and power straight through it. That's also advantageous if you need to carry a signal. Let's say you need to carry it through multiple blocks of a sort. Just kind of go out here a little bit. There we go. Let's say you need to power it through this. For instance, you need redstone coming off from all these points. You have redstone above this, and so on. You can turn into a mess, really, working with redstone, as you can see over there. But some of the perks of repeaters are they can power it through blocks. Now, the only input method for redstone that I've showed you so far is with a torch. This will be the main input method that you will probably use. But there's also several other input methods. You can use a lever. You can use a button. Like that. You need to put a button on a block and then redstone wire behind it. You push the button and it will light the wire for a short period of time. Now the lever, you flip the lever and it will continue to power the redstone until you flip it off. All these devices still power the redstone for 15 blocks. All devices power redstone for 15 blocks. Now, another handy thing that you can do with redstone, and this is quite nice, good for making traps, are pressure plates. Walk on top of a pressure plate, well, nothing really happens, but walk on top of that pressure plate, you'll power that redstone wire. It's kind of neat. You have two types of pressure plates. You have a wooden pressure plate and a stone pressure plate. When you walk on both, they'll still power the redstone for the same amount of time. Now, the difference is that I can throw an item on top of that one, and the item will power it. But I can throw items all I want on top of this one, and it will not power that redstone. You can find your own use for that. I personally do not use pressure plates for anything, but pretty sure you and your creativity can. Alright. Another thing. with redstone, well actually with redstone wire and torches and such, is that if you have powered redstone like this, in a block, and let's say you, I don't know, for some reason need to make sure the signal is the opposite of what's going through, you can just invert it with this. This is known as a NOT gate. You can just call it an inverter. It pretty much, when you put a torch on a block that is being, quote, powered by redstone wire, that torch will actually turn off. Like that. You can witness that here. And now if this redstone wire turns off, those torches will turn on. You can, again, you can find your own fancy special use for this. But there is my basic redstone tutorial. The basic of the basic. My next tutorial is going to be on some logic gates. I just have a short couple of the really simple ones laid out here for you. I will show you what those are and what they do and how to use them come my next tutorial. This, if you've been wondering what this huge thing is and all this stuff over here is, this is my game of Battleship. I have Battleship 2.0. It's a Minecraft game, a game within a game, which is awesome. I have another video on that on YouTube. But yeah, I will see you on my next tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it.